Shake out your wrists and elbows. And shake your whole body. Darlene. And now we'll loosen up the waist. Bring your feet together and we'll loosen the knees. So somebody told me that they were going to be out of town. And I said, well, you know, you're going to have Wi-Fi where you are, taking your device. But you don't have to miss the class. That is the upside of our current situation, is that you can do the class anywhere. And when I get the class content up on the video platforms, you can review or do the class anytime. I've been breaking class content down into individual topics so that you don't have to watch a whole class if you just want to review something we covered in that class. Change direction. And now we'll loosen up the ankles. Change direction. And now the other foot. Change direction. All right, we'll do a quick version of the all season for a warm-up. So the feet heels together or hip width apart. Inhale. Exhale. Stretch out any tight places and continue deep breathing. We can use back to childhood breathing or reverse abdominal breathing if you wish. Come back to center. Inhale. Exhale, turn to the side. And continue to breathe. Inhale, come back to the front. Exhale, turn to the other side. Inhale, come back to the front. Exhale, turn to the side. Inhale, come back to the front. And one more time. Exhale, turn to the side. Inhale, come back to the front. Now take a wrist, stretch up, exhale and bend. Inhale, come back to center. And take the other wrist, stretch up, exhale and bend. Inhale, come back to center. One more time to each side. Inhale, come back to center. Stretch up, exhale and bend. Inhale, come back to center. Now, bend your waist and move your hips around to loosen your lower back. And squat down with your feet flat. Lift up your heels. And come on back up. Now we'll loosen up the shoulders, so bring your shoulders forward and inhale. Roll them to the back and exhale. I tried to shoot a video of the form outside by myself. That is without a cameraman person. It didn't work out because really I need someone on the camera to zoom and pan. I thought maybe the camera was high enough resolution that I could enlarge the frame without losing quality, but no, quality deteriorates pretty quickly. Stop with your shoulders in the back. So inhale with the shoulders held back. Change direction, exhale when the shoulders come forward. So my wife has generously agreed to accompany me to the studio on Friday where we're going to do a recording indoors, and she'll handle the camera. So hopefully we'll soon have, we have section 1 already, so we'll soon have the whole form. And now, alternating sides, inhale on one side, exhale on the other. And stop on the exhale side. Now inhale on that side. Change direction, exhale on the other side. So I've stepped up my at-home routine because I was really suffering from not doing the routine that I was used to when I was teaching in the school. And I found my allergies had gotten considerably worse. I was losing my balance and leg strength. And so I started and didn't really have enough Zoom classes going on to make up for what I was missing from before. So I've started now my own routine on the YMMA Retreat Center schedule. And it's working out very nicely for me. Now, drop your chin onto your chest. Roll your head to the side. Gently stretch the muscles on the side of the neck. And losing flexibility too, having the numbness come back from my back injury, so got to counteract that. Roll down, put your chin on your chest again, roll up the other side, and continue rotating slowly from side to side. Now bring your head upright. We'll step out to a shoulder width stance and do boot explorers to see. Bend slightly, stretch your neck muscles evenly forward. Inhale. Exhale, turn your head, look up at the ceiling. Inhale, come back to center. Turn your head the other way, look up at the ceiling. Inhale, come back to center. Continue turning slowly from side to side, while keeping your neck muscles evenly stretched forward. Now come back upright, and we'll step out to a wider stance and start horizontal circles to loosen the lower and middle burners. Remember coordinating with the breathing. Inhale here, exhale here. Focus your mind on your lower spine and sacrum. Turn slowly to the side. Gradually come back to center and turn to the other side. And come back to center and reverse directions. Continue to coordinate with your breathing. Continue to focus your mind on your lower spine and sacrum. Turn to the side. Gradually come back to center and turn to the other side. Come back to center. And slowly make the circle smaller. We'll come to a stop and we'll wave the spine. Coordinating with breathing, of course. And focusing your mind on your lumbar spine, feeling the vertebrae move section by section in a slow, soft wave. Turn to the side. Gradually come back to center and turn to the other side. Come back to center. And bring the weave up to the shoulders with the movement called thrust the chest and arc the chest. Now add the arms. The white crane loosens its wings. And you have your whole body threaded together from the bottoms of your feet to the tips of your fingers. Your body moving like a slow, soft whip. And now, one arm at a time, with the white crane shakes its wings. I'm trying to loosen up my right shoulder. Not necessarily part of the movement, unless you've got a stiff right shoulder. And now, the other arm. And we'll finish with the energy cleansing. So step back into hip width distance so that the legs are nice and relaxed for the chi to flow down and out the bottoms of the feet. Inhale and gather the universal healing chi that surrounds us. Healing chi pouring down from the sky. Exhale, bring the chi in and down, inch by inch down through the body. Feel the fresh chi flushing out stale chi, pain and illness, stress and tension, toxic substances, and flushing them all the way down to the bottoms of your feet and out into the depths of the earth. And again, inhale and gather the healing chi. And exhale, bring it in and down, inch by inch through every bone and muscle, every organ, cleansing and healing, all the way down to the bottoms of your feet and out into the earth. And one more time, inhale and gather the chi. Exhale, bring it in and down, inch by inch through every cell in your body, healing and revitalizing, all the way down to the bottoms of your feet and out into the earth. Okay. Tonight I promised to do 2 green sash elements of the curriculum, the first one being the coiling, spiraling, and silk reeling jings. And so to start off with the easy part of that level's requirements, we'll do the Yang side solo. And I say it's easy because, of course, you do not have to do it solo if you do not wish to, because you can mirror. So for those of you who may be mirroring, I don't know how this is going to work, but I'll put my left foot forward and my left arm, which I'm hoping will allow you to use your right side first. But you know, the way that the screen reverses things, I don't know how I appear on your screen. Well, actually, wow, that's weird. I can't even tell on my screen how I would do this. Okay, so anyway, learning points. Proper hand position, which means palm faces in until you cross the center line. Then palm turns gradually out. Okay, if you turn your palm out too soon, you'll find that later on, well, it creates tension here in the hand for one thing, but later on this is going to be difficult to win, and if we ever get back to doing this with the partner or using the technique for self-defense. So palm facing in, good palm, until you cross the center line, then the palm turns out. Also, of course, the arm not too close, not too far away, okay, right about here. Weight shifting. So the weight shifting is, as we make the large circle, the weight shifts forward, and then the weight shifts back. Okay. Now, for the sake of simplicity, at the green sash level, we keep the weight back as we do the interior of the circle, which is a figure 8. And I'll show you now from the front on angle. Shift the weight forward, shift the weight back. The interior of the circle, figure 8, the weight stays back. And then the weight shifts forward, palm turns out after you cross the center line, and the weight shifts back. Here we have the palm up, the palm out, and the palm back in. At this level, we're just looking for the weight shifting and the proper hand position. And waist turning, okay? We're not yet looking for the chest opening and closing, but we are looking for the waist turning. So the waist turning would be the waist faces the corner as we start. It turns almost square to the front, then turns back to the corner. Waist turns, now square to the front, flat to the front. Waist turns back. Waist turns again, and waist turns back, now facing the corner. The side-to-side movement of the arm doesn't come from opening up the shoulder, okay? It comes from the turning of the waist. One more thing to remember is posture upright. Do not get in the habit of losing your center as you do the turns, okay? So keep the center, keep your center. Large circle, weight shifts forward, weight shifts back. Figure 8, weight stays back. And then the large circle, weight shifts forward and weight shifts back. Of course, the weight shifting is according to Tai Chi stance principles. Weight shifts forward, you're into the front stance. Distribution of 60% approximately on the front leg, 40% on the back. Weight shifts back, you're in the back stance with 40% on the front leg and 60% on the back leg. Waist turns from corner to square front, back to corner, back to square front, back to corner, back to square front, and back to corner. Okay? Now, if we were doing a feedback session where people wanted to get feedback, we would have somebody, we would make somebody, of course you would volunteer for this, we're not aiming to pick on anybody, but we'd make you the full screen and we'd all watch, and then the instructors and your fellow members would comment on what you did right and what you might have done wrong. Breathing pattern. Well, you know, at the green sash level, we're trying not to heap too many requirements on at once. So breathing pattern can be very simple with exhale here on the large circle, inhale here on the figure 8. Now later on, that may be red or purple, we introduce some more complexity into the breathing requirements. But at the green level, we try not to have too much going on at once. All right, what you want to work on for higher levels is, of course, the connecting of the whole body. And the opening and closing of the chest. So once you have the waist turning, then see the chest opens, the chest closes, chest opens, and chest closes. So those are for the higher levels. Now let's switch to the other side. Whatever side you were on, switch now to the other side so that we can even up the benefit for each side of the body. So large circle, palm in, palm turns out after passing the center line. Figure 8. Large circle, weight shifts forward, weight shifts back. And waist turns from corner to square, back to corner, to square, corner, square, corner. So we're looking for center, we're looking for proper hand position, weight shifting, fluidity in the pattern. So by fluidity we mean like not flowing smoothly, okay? So that you show that you know the pattern, that you're not wondering, oh no, what do we do next, okay? Unless of course you're teaching and you lose your place because you're making a learning point, which I believe may have already happened once or twice in this session. Okay. Now, another requirement to green sash in the coiling, spiraling, silk reeling jings component of the curriculum is the Yin Pattern mirror. Okay, so which means if you don't know the Yin Pattern, then again, mirror me, and if you do know it well, then you don't necessarily have to mirror me. Okay, so Yin Pattern, large circle like this. Okay. So large circle forward and backward. Okay. So you see waist turning to the corner and then back to the front. Okay. Hand position, palm facing in and then palm facing out and palm facing down. Okay. Inside the large circle, just like with the Yang pattern, there's the figure 8. Palm out, palm up, palm in. So large circle, palm out, palm in, and then figure 8, palm down, palm out, palm up, palm in. Okay. Same breathing pattern, again for the sake of simplicity, just not to have you have to think about too many things at once. Waist turning. Just like the Yang pattern, the waist is going from corner to square, back to corner, okay? And of course you want to work on the body connection, center line being straight. Don't use the energy of falling down to power your coiling and spiraling. Okay, let's go to the other side. You know why we have to try to balance, because this exercise really loosens up the joints, particularly the shoulder joints. So when you do one side, and if you let your arms hang relaxed at your sides, you'll see that the side you did, the fingertips will be maybe 1 inch or 2 inches lower than the side you haven't done yet. Okay, that's because it relaxes and loosens primarily the shoulder, but also the elbow and wrist. So it's a very good exercise for health. So now the other side, large circle, figure 8, palm down, palm out, palm up, palm in, large circle, palm out, and then back in, palm down, palm up, palm out, palm up, palm in. Remember, things to work on for higher levels are the chest bow, opening and closing. the connection from root to fingertips. That's what gives the applications the power. Using the other hand to balance the energy. And learning more complex breathing patterns. And to be more complex weight shifting patterns as well. And last pattern. Okay. Now for the students who are already familiar with the Yin pattern, let me just make one advanced point about the breathing. Breathing depends on your strategy. So you're saying, okay, this would be like exhale and this would be inhale? Maybe, depending on your strategy and application. If this is an attack, that would be exhale. Or if this is an intercept, that would be inhale, and that would be the attack exhale. So it depends on your strategy. For example, if I can demonstrate single-handedly, well, I got two hands, but by myself, this coil out. So this coil out of a wrist grab. Okay, so this is yin, this is inhale. Then here comes the explosive attack, exhale. Okay? So, now, I could use an assistant. I forgot to tell you, another piece of equipment needed, or training aid needed, is a partner, which I don't know if you'll have one available, but my wife has graciously consented to come in and lend a hand. So, for the requirement here, green sash, escape with the large circle. The large circle, escape from a wrist grab. So, she's going to grab me cross hand here. So this is where the connection from root through fingertips is important. Because if you have that connection, then you can get out fairly easily. But if you don't have the connection, then you may not be able, particularly if the other person is strong. Now notice here, as I get out, what happens. Palm facing in until here, and then the palm turns out. And when the palm turns out, if we can go to this angle, palm turns out. See, it breaks the grip. And I'm out. Okay. So that's one of the applications for this exercise, is to be able to escape if somebody grabs your wrist. Now, same side, same deal. Palm facing in, whole body connected. You notice here, waist turning, okay? And also, what you want to have eventually is not just waist turning, but chest opening, and you're out, okay? So the best thing to do in these cases is get out and run away. Don't fight unless you have to, but if you have to fight, then remember that you can also turn this waist turning into that, okay? Or in the case of crosshand, waist turning. See how the other arm follows with the waist turning? And then little Tai Chi ball, overhand vertical circling. Okay, so once again, waist turning, sealing. Now she's sealed, and a little bit of Tai Chi ball. So I'm not going to stop and go. Tai Chi ball, circling, strike. Okay, but that's only if you can't get away. Thank you very much, dear. So if you have somebody at home you can practice with, if not, you can sort of just review the video and try to feel how it's done. It's a little bit, you can kind of do it on yourself, but the smaller circle, mainly with yourself, the large circle's kind of hard to do. Also remember, this hand come up on the large circle, protects here, okay? Well, what you really want to do is develop the skill to do the escape on the bottom of the figure eight rather than the large circle. Bottom of the figure eight is this, right? So this instead of this, okay? So you can see how much more efficient this is, but you need to have the connection in order to use the bottom of the figure eight. But when you gain skill, the technique becomes smaller and smaller, quicker and quicker, more and more powerful. Okay, so the next and last item that I had on my agenda was from Green Sash, Qigong breathing, Qi cultivation, and Qi circulation. That's the number 5 component in the curriculum. And we have the geography of the body's Qi circulation system. Kind of important to know, whether you're doing for martial arts or for health. I need the glasses to read my notes. Qi has its residence in the lower dantian. That's what I keep telling you. At the beginning and end of your Qigong session, or your Tai Chi form practice, return your mind to the lower dantian, hold it there for a few minutes as you breathe. Allow the Qi to come back to its residence, so that your Qi is preserved and not lost, left out or somewhere. When your mind is in your lower dantian, your Qi is conserved. When your mind is out here in the workaday world, your Qi is consumed. So the meditation session daily or twice daily, very nice for preserving your Qi and increasing your lower dantian's capacity to hold the Qi. There are 2 gates where the Qi can go in and out of the lower dantian. The front gate's about 2 inches below the navel, called Yin Jiao, conception vessel number 6. That's the gate that the Qi usually takes most of the time. Okay? But there's a back gate called Ming Men between lumbar vertebrae 2 and 3. And it's governing vessel number 4. This gate we use in the grand circulation breathing, martial grand circulation, to increase the flow of Qi to the upper body, hands and arms. Okay? So keep in mind those 2 gates, Yin Jiao, Ming Men. Life gate. Yin Jiao and Ming Men are on two major vessels of qi circulation. You have your governing vessel, which goes from the bottom of your torso up the center of your back and to the roof of your mouth. The governing vessel supplies the 6 yang organs with qi. The conception vessel then runs from the bottom of your mouth down to the Wei Yin point at the bottom of your torso. The conception vessel, since it's on the front, it's yin, supplies the 6 yin organs with qi. Together, the governing vessel and the conception vessel create the small circulation. And that's a meditation exercise that we do in advanced levels of Tai Chi and Qigong training for health and for martial power. So for health, if the qi is abundantly flowing, abundant and smoothly flowing in the governing and conception vessel, the qi can be abundant and smoothly flowing in the 12 channels that feed the qi bioelectricity to the organ networks. Very good for your health. And then if the qi is strongly flowing in the small circulation is the foundation for martial grand circulation. So very important to power in martial arts or other activities where you might need to energize your muscles. On the governing vessel and the conception vessel, there are 7 pairs of matching gates. The first pair that we deal with in our curriculum is Bai Hui, the gate for heaven qi. Gather the healing qi, bring it in through Bai Hui, right? And Wei Yin at the bottom of the torso between the sex organs and the anus, that's a gate for earth qi. Those are the first pair of matching gates. And you have 6 other pairs of matching gates. For exchanging qi through hands, we have the Lao Gong gates, pericardium point 8. And for exchanging qi with the earth through the feet, the Yang Chuan gates, kidney point number 1. Yang Chuan means bubbling wells. Lao Gong means labor palace. Your hands do a lot of work, that's why labor palace. Bubbling wells, earth energy comes up right through the Yang Chuan gates. So, so we have eight vessels. I've only mentioned 2 of them, the governing and conception. There's several others that we'll get to at higher levels. And there's 12 channels, 1 for each of the 12 organs. From the 12 channels, you have Lu. Lu are like back alleys. It's like the capillaries in the blood circulation system. The Lu take the qi from the channels into the muscles and to the skin and into the bone tissue and into the bone marrow. So when we do skin and marrow breathing, for example, you're using the Lu to send the qi out beyond the skin and to draw the qi into the bone marrow. Very important to know that because the bone marrow breathing, very good for your bones and your marrow, and keeping it young and preventing premature aging. Now, there are principles of qi circulation that I have actually moved up to the next level, to blue level, so we'll get those in a future class. And the other requirement in green sash for qi cultivation and qi circulation is the 4 gates breathing. So what 4 gates? These are not part of the 7 matching gates on governing and conception vessel. They are energy gates where you can take in and send out energy.
but they're not on the torso. Of course, the four gates, you know, Lao Gong, that's 2. Yang Chuan, that's 4. So, together, 4 gates breathing. So, you will learn the principles of qi circulation that muscle tension inhibits qi flow. So when we do 4 gates breathing and breathing out in and out of the Yang Chuan gates, we want the legs to be relaxed. We do not want to stand in horse, okay? So, so hip width distance, we want the way yin to be open too, so we don't want to stand like this either, but hip width distance apart. And you'll learn in the principles of qi circulation that sharply bent joints inhibit the flow of qi, so you want the joints not too sharply bent. We have intention in 4 gates breathing to move the qi strongly. And that means that we use reverse abdominal breathing as the foundation of 4 gates breathing. So as we inhale, mind's in the lower dantian because we want to draw qi in through the 4 gates into the lower dantian. Another principle of qi circulation. Qi goes where the mind leads it. So we exhale, we move our mind to below the palms and below the feet. So inhale with the reverse breathing, abdomen gently in, perineum gently up. Mind in the mind in the lower dantian, drawing qi in through the 4 gates. Exhale, mind under the hands and feet. You might imagine your hands and feet are pressing to the earth. Don't tense the muscles. It's only a thought. Abdomen gently out, perineum gently down. Inhale, mind in the dantian. Abdomen in, perineum up. Drawing breath and qi in through the 4 gates into the lower dantian. Exhale, mind underneath the hands and below the feet. Abdomen gently out, perineum gently down. Feel breath and qi flowing out through the 4 gates. Inhale, mind in the lower dantian. Perineum in, abdomen, perineum up, abdomen in. Breath and qi flowing in through hands and feet. Exhale. Mind below the hands and feet, abdomen gently pushed out, perineum gently pushed down. Visualize breath and qi flowing out through hands and feet. Now continue at your own pace with 4 gates breathing, long, slow, deep, even breaths. What are the benefits of 4 gates breathing? Well, for health, you are improving your qi circulation. This intentional moving of the qi helps to break up qi stagnation. You have 6 channels that run up and down the arms, so you help to break up qi stagnation in those channels. And you have channels that run up and down the legs. In addition, you have a couple of vessels that run up and down the legs. So the Yang Chuan breathing part of 4 gates breathing helps to break up any qi stagnation in those channels and vessels. In addition to breaking up qi stagnation, it helps you improve the circulation of qi in the organs above the diaphragm when you use the Lao Gong breathing, and in the organs below your diaphragm with the Lao Gong breathing. So they're very good for health. I think in this new world we live in, where we have to wonder what new virus is going to come along and how long we're going to be vulnerable to it till science develops a vaccine, that using our own efforts to take care of our own health is going to become very important. We can't rely exclusively on science. So our own immune system is our first and best line of defense. So exercises like this to work on our vital energy are very important for health. For martial arts purposes, of course, the Lao Gong breathing helps you practice leading qi to energize your muscles, also to exchange qi with the outside environment, including disruptive strikes to an enemy's acupuncture points to disrupt their energy. And the Yang Chuan breathing helps strengthen your root and strengthen your leg muscles so that you can have a strong root and strong power coming from your root. Normal sensations with the 4 gates breathing. Hands and feet feel warm, tingle, feel like they're expanding or contracting as you inhale and exhale. Actually, that would be contracting as you inhale, expanding as you exhale. They'd be a little tingly. Abdomen may get warm as well. That's all normal. You might feel sensation if you're sensitive, not just in hands and feet, but also in arms and legs, as the qi runs along the channels. If you were testing on this requirement, you just have to explain what I just explained, the how and the why. And if you were testing on the silk reeling, then it would be to perform with the correct requirements: hand position, waist turning, upright center, proper weight shifting. And well, if we could do contact, I would try to test your connection by giving you some resistance, but we can't really do that, so we just have to judge by looking.